Overspeeding or
you shouldn't overspeed. Or else you lose your hair.
Like who?
Vin Diesel. Jason Statham. The Rock. Kasoma Ben.
So I knew that you were pointing at me. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the very first podcast of the DNA. By the way, I'm so happy to note that this is the very first of its kind within this family. Maybe for purposes of our fans to understand what the DNA means. Marlon, do you mind telling us what is DNA?
Well, DNA is the Dance Network Alliance, and we deal in dancing. We are creators, we are dancers, and also choreographers. So what we do basically is dancing mostly, and we have a style that is comprised of comic.
Okay, you're rushing into things I haven't asked you. Anyway.
Moment of silence.
Anyway,
the beaten one.
A minute, moment of silence. For the dead.
Okay, by the way, I'm trying to ponder on how far we've moved. For me, I get goosebumps when I sit here with my boys, the three of you, having moved the journey. But I think it's important to remind ourselves of where we started from. If you could remember way back in 2013, 2014, I think we were a bigger group, around 20. And
this is my story to hear.
And the tea you're taking will be having issues here. Anyway, so if you look at the way we started, the 20 number, and how we sieved ourselves to the current theory. What do you think could be the reason behind the number dropping drastically from the theory? Is it the determination of the team? Is it lack of motivation for dance? Let's first discuss in that line. What could be the reason behind our number dropping from 20 to 3? What has brought us to be the theory, the DNA, the core theory that we are today?
Basically, that the main point of all that I think that would be lack of motivation, because we can't say funds, because we know whenever you're starting something, you always think of earning later on, not like at the start. So I think they were just demotivated.
Demotivated with what? What could be that factor that was bringing up the demotivation?
Okay, so for the demotivation, dance, to be a dancer, you really have to have the passion for dance. So I think he didn't have the passion for dance.
So can I correct you that it was not demotivation, but rather probably it was the lack of the passion?
Yeah, I think that was it.
So the line we should move with is the passion for dance. So meaning that for you to be a successful dancer, you must have the passion of what you are doing. Is that so?
Yeah.
Okay.
Another thing, we're still young.
Yeah, that's a fact.
We never knew what we wanted.
By the way, I remember this kid. The man now. I remember the kid in him having to first seek consent from the mother to come and attend training.
That's way back.
Him us being young, we never knew what we wanted. We thought this was just playing around, having passion, like having passion for dance, but without a mission. I have my word, if you don't have an ambition, then you don't have a mission to fulfill. So in order to fulfill your ambition, you have to have a mission. If you try in a mission, I try in ambition.
We're just having fun with it.
With it, just leisure time, like having fun through leisure time. So we never knew that we would earn greater in this because we're still young in mind.
Yeah.
But right now, I'm glad that we have grown up. So being that we are young,
is still growing.
we never had the same, like others had to leave nga bala tekikola ki kiri awo ffe tuli mu mizannyo buli omu akola kyasamu ne bakita naye out of the 20 plus abali basigadde nga bawulire they want it they had to keep on pushing it harder till now.
Okay, for me, one thing I noticed with the dance as of then, one of the challenges that I noticed was the fact that, like you said, some people didn't have the proper direction in them. But most importantly, I think one of the biggest factors was the fact that, like we said, like we argue, you were all young. Probably I was also young. I was also a young manager. I wasn't the fantastic manager you're referring to now. But I think all of us were not goal-driven. Yes, we had the passion for the dance. That's why we set this up. We did the training room, but maybe we didn't have the actual goal. We thought it would. We did know it will have to take time for it to yield and to mature. But we start at least benefiting from the actual dancing. But anyway, we thank God that today we are here. We are. I think one thing that I want us to talk about now is what have we seen as our challenges in this dance industry? Probably the challenges, and then later we shall talk about the opportunities that it comes with. Because now, right now, the DNA is established. It is known worldwide. We are lucky how performed at the EAGT. South Africa's Got Talent. Now, you know, that thing doesn't just come like that. Behind anything of that nature, there are challenges. I don't take me slow. There are challenges. There are challenges. So let us first discuss what could be the challenges in the dance industry. And we need also to recognize that we have a number of dance groups within Uganda and abroad. So looking at us, DNA, and our other the fellow dancers, what could be the challenges that could be facing the dance industry? Ian, what do you think?
The first challenge I'll go with is the opportunities that come along in the first steps, like low payments, which drives everyone's passion low at some point. And that's bad in the beginning, because someone losing passion in the beginning might go and look for other opportunities and not exploit dance. So it's not being a business at first if it's not yet gotten. The opportunities.
So maybe to re-echo, are you saying that one of the challenges is the fact that the other people who look at dance underrate it? Are you trying to mean something like that? Underrating dance? Such that if you get a gig, the payments are low compared to what you feel you put in. Is it what you're trying to bring in?
Yeah, a little bit like that. But I probably go back to you as a person who's dancing. Your branding, your all that you put in has to be worth. So you're called with that amount that you look like your branding looks like Pejizo's fine as a child in a way. So back with it according to that. They don't add in
to what you look like the worth.
That
actually portray.
So they tell you the money, probably go with it. Oyinza okukkiriza sinti gamba nti okikkiriza just for exploitation, but it's lowering your passion. In a way.
Okay.
That's the first challenge that I can look at.
That's a valid one. Mara.
Well, in our industry, we have very many dancers. That's what I would love to say. But by dancers, we also demotivate ourselves in such a way that I'll brand myself up, then another dancer won't be branding him or herself. So a coincidence, 2 games of a video shoot. I'm being called for a video shoot. Then I ask for a price of, let me say, 300 and above. Only one person. So the one calling me will be like, oh, this is too much. let me improvise. Then
I can get someone
I can
cheaper.
get someone cheaper than you.
Yeah.
Then he
That can
calls
do the
another
same
dancer
stuff.
who can do the same stuff. Then this dancer is like, maybe if you give me transport of 20,000, I'll appear. So it's also us dancers.
Nobody will value after
Not
that.
they don't value us. If one is on a higher pay grade, another one is on a lower pay grade. So no one's going to value the one on a higher pay grade because first of all, dance is not considered as a business in Uganda. It's considered just something on a low basis, leisure time.
Yeah.
When you go to some people and tell them I'm a dancer, someone will look at you and say, what type of job is that?
Yeah, actually, even some parents.
What type of
don't
job?
like it.
Do you earn any living from that? Yep, I do. But they look at us in a way that we earn on a low basis, and we are doing this just for leisure. So you won't find someone valuing what we do. Understand?
Yeah.
So most of us go where we're tolerated, but instead we have to go and look for places where we're celebrated. I think in Uganda. That's just on a toleration base.
He has brought in one good aspect because we're discussing the challenges.
Yeah.
Like you stated, the parents. You see, every person as they grow up, they find themselves. Someone finds out that I'm best at this. I'm good into this. This is my passion. Like you said, in most cases, the parents don't take dancers as something that is serious. They want their children to be employed in offices, in corporate entities, to be doing normal official work. But yet, if you look at our counterparts abroad, outside Uganda, dance is a serious business.
Yes.
So, how do you want to expound more on that challenge of the parents not understanding the beat of dancing?
I feel like parents should actually give emotional support and maybe financial support to the children that like they're having, just like how they do to the footballers. See, you can find a parent that has a footballer and then a dancer. Yeah, you find out like they favor more
the footballer compared to
the dancer. In which case it's not the same, because when you look at it, a dancer has more chances of earning even more than a footballer if you have to put it at an international level. Yeah. By the time a footballer starts earning, let's say, like that's like at the age of 18. The dancer has already started dancing at the age of like 5 and 6 if he is to do professional.
For example,
if parents
look at the ghetto kids.
Yeah, look at the ghetto kids.
They're still
that's
young,
a good example.
but they're earning.
Already.
They're earning very big.
Yeah.
By the way, salute the ghetto kids. They have been good ambassadors in the dance industry. Okay, still talking about challenges. Now that is the bit of support and funding. I think the other thing that I want us to expand more in regards to challenges is to do with the funding. Because the reason as to why the people who take on the dancers perform at their premises, at their functions, maybe they don't know what dancers put in. So let's discuss in line with to do with the funding. How do dancers get funding? How do you do? How would you get that funding out? See that for me, the product I'm giving out on the stage. By the time I give it, someone is giving value based on what you put in. I mean the branding. I mean the infrastructure. Some dancers need things like dance studios. Let's discuss in those lines.
First and foremost, the one that I'll go with is the outfits.
The outlook.
How you look like.
How you
actually
present
tells
yourself.
how you present tells a lot about what you're going to perform. You can't come putting on something cheap and you're asking for something above your
not worth
not worth what you're putting on. Okay, I'm giving an example of us. We'll find out like let me give an example of Marlon. Marlon is putting on a shoe that is actually worth 250. The trousers of 100 something, the jumper and the shirt. By the time you total him up, he's having 500k on him. So you can't bring Marlon to perform for less than 500k. He's already having 500k on him. So if you are to call Marlon, you need to have him with 1 point something because he has to double what he's putting on and also have something to keep and save. Yeah, that's what I think is the core.
It's an addition. And more so, I'll go back to the branding part. So sometimes they tell you, go on the show, they tell you that you have to perform, like they see what you can do, which could go straight acapella. So okolo otya?
Any moment wompitira nkola acapella, I just know you are not serious. Because toyinza kumpita mpita acapella after contacting me to come and perform for you. This means you've seen me performing somewhere and now you're asking for acapella. Why? Like seriously, or ndabye performing and then you are calling me again, come and do something.
And I think your social media handles will be the capella part for you. It has to play that part for you.
In most cases,
Yeah.
the world we're living right now.
Yeah. Msindike yo all for the video, so wabata simya capella. Yeah. And that's the worst part that you first do. What you know your video, and so you have to perform a cappella for. And that's bad.
Now, another thing to add on, let's look at the branding part of it, the outlook surface, how you present yourself, and the creativity you've put in it.
Yeah, creativity.
You have to value it because that's the most crucial part. Even if you ngenda kukola majani, doesn't make sense.
Naye okunyuma kutiisa.
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 But
okunyuma kutiisa. We were once battering some dancers, but the way they were looking like,
just because of their
just the way they look like. Kyaba kutaddemu kiba kimaze okutereeza mu line nti gwe no.
Ate kirabayo.
So you get disappointed later.
We try to keep business.
Yeah.
So wenzijana nyuma ngenda kukola majani, I'm not going to be brought back next time. It's better off nyume nenga nebyenkola birimu ki amakulu, so that I keep the what, the recommendations, and also I keep the name on top.
Yeah.
So creativity also matters in this thing. Someone will say, actually, let me forward to you. Actually, let me take on an example. When you are going to have your marriage, you once asked me and told me you're going to perform. How much are you going to perform? Then I told you, if I'm not wrong, I told you 200,000. Then asked me, what are you going to perform?
Like basically
what are you going to give me?
Yange to come and perform and osaba mitwala abiri ogenda kukola muri bameka nti tulinga 10 mwagala mitwala abiri
ngokukizo what you told me now I need cultural dancers, I need a fusion, so my mind had to rise up and think of a huge amount so that we can perform very well. Now you gave me a challenge of putting in cultural dancers. These cultural dancers.
You see, even when you go to town to buy, if you go to buy, let me say a mobile phone. The cheaper the price, your mind tunes you and tells you the quality that you're going to buy. So if you bring it back to the dance industry, if I'm to give you a job and really your first offer price is very low, it will bring to my mind that the kind of output that they're going to give me it won't be commensurate to what I'm expecting. Well, anyway, that is something that is maybe it varies depending on the person. But I want us to switch to something different now. Let's talk about dancing and the dancing types that we do. If you look at the dance industry, I know there are so many types of dances. And different occasions call for different dances.
Yes.
So, Wakil, would you want to talk about first and foremost the types of dance that we offer?
As DNA?
Now, okay, as a normal dancer. First explain to the listeners the kind of dances.
First and foremost, let me just attack straight to the person that is watching. I'm attacking. Listen to me carefully. There's a difference between a TikToker and a dancer. Yeah. You see those TikTok dances that you people do, the trends and challenges and everything. Yeah. The ones that whereby you're counting the moves to 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. That's fun. You're having pleasure. Yeah. So when we are talking about dance, we are putting that the other side.
So let me ask you a question. If chicken starts his moves. You know his moves. Chicken has only one move. Just turning around. So is it dancing or that is
That's having fun.
It's
You know,
having fun.
yeah, that's vibing. We actually say that's vibing.
In naming, we can name that the beginner's part.
Not even the beginners.
That's not the beginner's part.
That's you
That's
enjoying
you
yourself
normally. Yeah, as you can do like this.
So it doesn't need a beginner, it doesn't need someone learning. You just enjoy yourself, you come up with something that looks like dance and
Okay.
That's what is happening.
You are attacking chicken.
No. So putting that aside, for the dancers, let me see. We have contemporary dance. There is Afro. There is B-boy that's breaking. There is popping, and then there is salsa. There are lots and lots.
There is the African diversity.
Yeah, it's just a lot. It's just a lot. But if we have to look at the world we are living in right now, people are actually basing on dancehall, hip hop, and then the new trend, amapiano. You people, I'm confused with amapiano. I feel like amapiano is a fusion of Afro, and then a pop. Yeah. I actually don't see what they are doing in there because they're actually just popping and then doing Afro dances. Yeah. So I feel like they're just doing a fusion.
Yeah. So
just
only the music varies.
Only the music is varying. Yeah. Tibaina music, wow, but when you hear the piano music, you can't tell. And their beats are always the same. Yeah, you can just pick.
So Marlon, it takes me to the next question. He has broken down the different types of dances, and different countries, different cultures perceive dance differently. Now, for the sake of Uganda, what kind of dance does the public vibe on more? Because I know if I go to, for example, America, maybe hip hop. So, what kind of dance really makes it Echkuba on Uganda?
I want to mention 3 things. First of all, the first dance is dancehall. Because when you look at the whole generation in Uganda, we are basing on dancehall. It's the first type of dance. Secondly, the African style. Because ojagenda ku mukolo bayisala maganda.
So that's
African. So, and we have different people. Now, when you look at the youths, they like the dancehall part of it. When you look at those old people, the corporate people, they like the culture part of it mostly. That's what I would say. Only 2 types. But right now, it seems that amapiano is taking over. Not only Uganda, but
where is the origin of amapiano? Is it South Africa?
South Africa, and amapiano has existed since way back.
Well, but I've just got to know amapiano recently. Who is this singer who passed on? Costa Teach.
Yeah.
Was he the father of amapiano?
No. There's a guy who used to sing this song. You remember the song? Oh, Munye.
Yeah,
that was amapiano.
Yeah, that was amapiano. Oh, yeah, now I get the beat. I get the beat.
There's another one who sang John Cena. That's also amapiano. But that was way back in 2018.
So we have agreed that amapiano stemmed from South Africa.
Yeah.
So we as Ugandans, not only DNA, Ugandan dancers, how do we also impact? How do we bring up dance that can impact and cross from the East African region, go across and feed up the African continent?
We just need to create something that is different from others.
Oh my God.